I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
I agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want
She doesn't care about anything.
She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly, that's why I say it.
And you need to defend yourself all the time. As you may heard, I filed a few lawsuits and I'm in the court now because they accuse me of doing stuff that I never did in my life, and they wrote lies, and I will not allow that. I will fight till the end because I don't want that they damage my reputation.
Remember the days when The View was just harmless daytime fluff celebs promoting cookbooks, joy-cracking corny jokes, and Whoopi sleepwalking through topics like she was on autopilot? Yeah, those days are over. Vaporized. Obliterated. Sunny, Hostin just got slapped with a lawsuit so dramatic, so expensive, it makes Bravo reunion fights look like tea parties. And the one doing the slapping? None other than Melania. I really don't care. Do you, Trump? That's right. Melania has risen from her gilded silence like a legally armed phoenix. And now Sunny is gripping the table like she just saw a subpoena shaped like her own face. One moment she's tossing snark like parade candy, the next, she's bracing for a $300 million legal meteor. Joy's face says it all. She looks like she just watched a ghost enter the studio. And that ghost has stilettos and a team of lawyers. This isn't a talk show anymore. It's Mortal Kombat, the litigation edition.
Is it really shocking that all this egregious violence goes against my husband? Especially that we hear the leaders from the opposition party and mainstream media branding him as a threat to democracy, calling him vile names. They only fueling a toxic
Once upon a time, first ladies smiled politely while their husbands broke the country. But not Melanian, no. She elevated the role to avant-garde performance, art like silent protest, wrapped in couture, and Sunny. Sunny turned decoding Melania into her part-time job. Every raised eyebrow, every frozen half-smile, every stilted hand swat turned into a running gag for 6 seasons and a podcast. You'd think Melania was a walking Da Vinci Code the way Sunny dissects her expressions like they're ancient hieroglyphs. Except instead of unlocking state secrets, we're left with jokes about Christmas trees and rose garden shrubbery. It's entertaining, sure, but meaningful. That's like studying potato chips for insights into foreign policy.
Wow. I mean, that is violent. They've got to stop talking like that about a former president who's had 2 assassination attempts. I mean, that's just ignorant. A tiny sample of the social media backlash. These are such vile comments, but they are exactly what the View's audience loves. It is targeted perfectly at a radically feminist, liberal audience that loves hate. Another now. This is loving and tolerant rhetoric the left uses, which they accuse the opposing side of.
But now, Melanian's pulling the most dazzling move of calculated revenge since someone slipped poison into the goblet at King's Landing. She's not just upset, she's litigiously offended. Melania has filed a $300 million lawsuit against Sunny Hostin. You heard that right. Not 30 grand. Not 3 mil. A full-on 9-figure legal death ray. That's not just a lawsuit. That's a high-fashion atomic bomb with Louboutin heels and a non-disclosure clause. It's not petty, it's precision vengeance. The kind that comes with binders, billable hours, and a quiet smile. She's not here to tweet. She's here to demolish reputations with the grace of a runway model and the precision of a courtroom. Assassin. Next, voice what triggered this velvet-gloved detonation. Sunny, in her usual caffeinated snark, did what she's been doing for years, roasting Melania like a Christmas ham on live TV. She cracked jokes about her accent, made fun of her taste in landscaping, and of course, her marriage, which Sunny seems to believe is a dystopian horror novel with a spray tan. And while the audience clapped, and the commercial breaks rolled in, Sunny forgot one thing. There's a difference between late-night comedy and defamation with a studio audience. This wasn't a one-liner. It was a recurring segment, And Melania, well, she's been watching, quietly, patiently, with a team of attorneys fluent in vengeance.
Yesterday was Barbara Walters' birthday, I believe.
Yes.
And when I was watching this, I thought if Barbara were here today, she would have said to her, Melania, your husband had sex with a star while you were home with a baby.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
That's what Barbara would have done. This woman, nothing. This was the most softball thing, the most softball hostage video I've ever.
Let's not kid ourselves. Melania's marriage to Donald has all the warm fuzzies of a tax audit. Public appearances between them often feel like a hostage video directed by a fashion house. But Sunny didn't break new ground here. The internet's been memeing Melania's blank stares and GP's lost body language since 2016. The difference? Twitter trolls aren't daytime hosts with producers, legal departments, and advertisers. Sunny turned marital mockery into professional content. She turned Melania into a punchline with lighting and applause cues, all while forgetting that some people don't tweet back, they law firm back. Next.
That who gives a blank about Christmas stuff and decoration? So these two are like similar people.
She turned the rose garden. She turned the rose garden into a cemetery. Did you see that?
She did.
Yes.
I think we're here. And it was for the people and for the left-wing media who are criticizing me, and I want to show them that I don't care. You could criticize whatever you want to say, but it will not stop me to do what I feel it's right.
Sunny is collapsing under the weight of her own commentary. Pick a category: emotional, professional. Professional. Spiritual. She's reportedly spiraling through all of them. This is the same woman who once cackled at Melania's Christmas decor like she was judging a haunted mansion contest. She compared Melania's NFT project to a flea market with internet access and dissected her marriage with the obsession of a forensic pathologist. But Melania didn't clap back with a shady tweet. She didn't do a tell-all interview or storm a morning show. No, she unleashed the lawyers, and when Melania sues, she sues like royalty. She's not asking for a correction. She wants Sunny's microphone, her earrings, and probably her podcast password. Sources say this lawsuit reads like marble elegant, heavy, and impossible to ignore. It documents years of public ridicule, character assassination, and exaggerated commentary. The message: drag me for 8 years, and you'd better have a savings account shaped like a bunker. Next.
Husband decided to run for president. The media loved him because they saw the man that I see every day. Someone tough, successful, and fair. And handsome! I agree. A man who sees potential in everyone he meets, no matter their gender, race, religion, or sexual orientation. A man who has a very big heart and have a great sense of humor. Donald loves helping people, and he loves seeing those around him and his country.
Now, before anyone breaks into applause for Melania the martyr, let's get real. This is still the woman who wore a "I really don't care" jacket to visit detained kids. She's not exactly a pillar of virtue. But let's be consistent. Melania didn't sign up to be a roast target every Thursday morning on a talk show masquerading as journalism. Want to critique her politics? Be my guest. But week after week, Sunny turned her into the national mascot of marriage misery. And here's the twisted part: Sunny brands herself as an advocate for women, immigrants, and dignity. And yet she's spent years reducing Melania to a caricature, trophy wife with an accent. That's not empowerment. That's performance shade. It's like preaching feminism and then quoting Mean Girls into a live mic for ratings.
What do you love most about your husband?
His being, his humor, his personality, his kindness. He's very special. His positivity, his energy, it's unbelievable. So we have a beautiful relationship.
What do the two of you like to do for fun if you're not working?
To have dinner, sometimes quiet dinner or dinner with friends, and listen to the music, all kind of different musics.
I hear he likes to be the DJ.
He likes to be the DJ, and it's a very fun night when he does that.
That thing needs a laugh track. It needs a laugh track.
I have to say, I was surprised when she mentioned his sense of humor.
And through it all, Melania has kept her silence so tightly sealed, it might as well be enshrined in the Smithsonian. She's stood next to a man who once recommended bleach cocktails and didn't blink. That's not silence, it's endurance training. She's been mocked, memed, impersonated, and dissected without ever truly fighting back. Until now, and now that she's finally speaking up, she's doing it with legal documents instead of interviews. Sunny didn't just joke once. She went on a full-blown commentary crusade, sustained and televised, aimed at a woman who rarely talks back. And now that Melania is finally responding with legal fury, not sarcasm, suddenly Sunny's retreating behind it was just satire. Satire doesn't come with court summonses, and in this case, the punchline might cost her more than her next book deal. It might cost her everything.
I knew he has slept with.
Well, allegedly.
With Stormy, Melania knew. They were sleeping in separate bedrooms. I don't think Melania wants anything to do with the man. I really don't.
Why is he still there?
I just don't get why these attorneys, like George Stephanopoulos is one of the best interviewers out there. This is not going to work in your favor. And then he goes on Ari Melber and gets his backside handed to him. I'm like, you're losing your case by going on.
And he was sweating like a pig.
Sweating. It's not a good idea.
I mean, how do you argue that Trump cares so much about his family?
Yeah. He's got a lot of family.
He's a family man.
So you know what? There's something so touching about it.
Just imagine the aftermath if Melania wins. Picture Sunny Hostin, daytime royalty, issuing a groveling public apology to the very woman she's been verbally exfoliating for years. Meanwhile, Melanians at Mar-a-Lago, sipping tea in designer silence, while the internet implodes. That's not revenge, that's Shakespeare in high heels. This could turn into the greatest televised reckoning since The Real Housewives threw wine across reunion couches. Sunny's now reportedly scrambling for a PR team, one that doesn't cost more than the lawsuit itself. Melania isn't answering phone calls. She's not issuing statements. She's doing what she's always done, saying nothing and letting the silence turn into a battle cry. For a woman constantly mocked for her stillness, her quietest move may be her most devastating.
So they play, and it was hour after hour. I watched TV, was hour after hour, bashing him, because they want to influence the American people how to vote, and they're influencing in the wrong way. All the rest of the stuff, they don't want to talk about it. So they said, let's do something so we will hurt his company.
Let's not canonize Melania just yet. She's not out here curing diseases. She's still as unreadable as a locked iPhone. She launched an anti-bullying campaign while married to the human equivalent of a Twitter feud. And yes, that's irony so thick you could use it as wall insulation. But even so, that doesn't give Sunny or anyone a lifetime license to drag her like a piñata at a ratings party. At some point, the mockery crosses from critique into cruelty. Especially when it's coming from a show that shouts about diverse perspectives while steamrolling anyone who doesn't agree with the group chat, and $300 million. That's not just a number. That's a message with diamonds. It says, you thought I wouldn't fight back. I'll bankrupt your sarcasm. Melania doesn't want an apology. She wants reparations and a new rose garden designed entirely in court settlements.
Some people, they see me as just a wife of the president, but I'm standing on my own 2 feet, independent. I have my own thoughts. I have my own yes and no. I don't always agree what my husband is saying or doing, and that's okay.
Are you able to tell him when you disagree?
I gave him my advice, and sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't, and that's okay.
Now, come Sunny's defenders. It's satire, they cry. Free speech, sure, but let's not pretend satire gives you a punch card to someone's dignity. Melania has every right to sue. That's how rights work. And Sunny didn't just riff once. She turned Melania into a running gag with lighting, makeup, and morning mimosas. That's not satire, it's a strategy, a brand. And now that the brand's under legal review, people are panicking. Team Melania is celebrating like she just threw a wine glass in Game of Thrones. Team Sunny is quoting the First Amendment like it pays for legal fees. This case is now a cultural spectacle. It's the slow-motion train wreck of the decade. And, somewhere, 1,000 law students are watching with popcorn and highlights.
Trump came out and said she's about as pro-choice as they come. And here was the reaction on The View.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
Well, agree with you. She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden.
Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want
She doesn't care about anything.
She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Oh, would you look? This is a network that still runs out fact checks to these women, like it's concerned about them staying factual. She hates Trump. She doesn't want to be near him. She doesn't want to be president again. She destroyed the Rose Garden, and she hates Christmas. That is what passes for news on a network. They did a presidential.
Just like that. The balance of power shifts. Sunny Hostin, once the undefeated queen of side-eye analysis, is now muzzled by legal necessity. Her commentary is being filtered through lawyers and PR advisors. Watching her now is like watching a diva stuck in a silent movie, confused, twitchy, and desperately trying not to break NDA. But this isn't censorship. It's consequence. When you roast someone publicly for nearly a decade, don't be shocked when the roast comes with closing arguments. Melania didn't respond for years, and now, her silence has become thunder. Sunny is flailing in a courtroom storm of her own creation, and Melania. She's not yelling, she's not tweeting. She's letting the lawsuit do the talking. And what it says is simple. Next time you joke about her marriage, check your bank account first. Because when Melania claps back, it's not with sass, it's with subpoenas.